G'day guys, it's Stephen here, and I'm here with Ryan again.
G'day.
I don't know why, but he just keeps inviting himself to my podcast.
Filthy freeloader.
Yeah, I know, right? This is the 6th Macrocosm podcast. Today we're going to do a few things. Firstly, we're going to discuss some songs that we've chosen for each other. Then after, we're going to discuss the movie The Cloverfield Paradox.
Yep.
And after that, possibly we might talk about the topic of paradoxes, but we'll see how we go for time.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
All right, so let's do this.
All right, so we'll start off with the first song I sent through. So it's Hippocampus, and the song's called Souls, which is pretty cool. I think I first heard it probably about a year or two ago. I would have just moved into my new house, and yeah. The note I gave to you was that I like the story is also told by the guitar as well. Like there's like it's got its own melody going through the whole song. It's like a storyline. I really like that.
Like the words and the music are like connected. They kind of interact with each other.
They really do, yeah. It's almost it's like one of those songs where they've put thought into almost every aspect of the song. Like there's no parts they've rushed through.
They're not just putting music to the words.
We need a drum beat, so let's just do the standard drum beat. Put that in there, and we'll get to the thing that we like. Yeah. Nah. Any notes you got onto it?
Yeah, I got so. It reminds me of what is it? 𝗵𝗵𝗲. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
It reminds me of their songs, like the way that the music tells the story.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. They use a lot of falsetto in this song, a lot of high notes.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's one thing I wrote down was like throughout the song you get this feeling of like trying to hold on to childhood, but not only that, like it's sung by a young male, like you get the young feel all the way through with his voice. I don't know if you got that as well, but I felt that.
Yeah. This isn't the first time I've heard this group.
Okay.
I've got one of their other songs. I think it's called Monsoon.
Okay.
Which is a lot slower and it's quite alternative. So I like that one. But it's quite a catchy song. Like the beat and stuff. It's nice to
bop your head to.
Yeah, tap your feet to.
Exactly.
Bop your head or whatever. Yeah.
And I like how there's like a second drop almost. Like it has the intro and then about it goes back to the chorus for a moment, but about halfway through the chorus, then the actual proper drum beat kicks in. Like I really like that part of it too.
Rolling off the tracks, no, you'll never see it again. What song that you dug so
much? This song and many of their songs, I think, seem to be better through headphones because I did both this time.
Oh, okay, yeah, one through your speakers, yep.
And then I did them all through my speakers, then did them all through my headphones.
That's cool. Notice the difference, try and pinpoint it.
Yeah, some songs didn't matter, speakers or headphones, but like this one, it's got lots of intricate sounds.
Yes.
Like the drumsticks hitting each other.
Yep.
And all that comes through a lot more with headphones,
Definitely.
I think.
Well, you're isolating everything else. You're excluding the rest of the world to listen to the song.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, anything else on it? Where would you, what playlist would you put this in if you were to do so?
Just my casual listening list.
Okay. That's similar to my just keep vibing playlist. I think that's essentially the same. Like it's not heavy rock and roll, but it's also not like super slow.
Yeah, it's the list I would listen to when I'm before bed. I'd put a list on for an hour.
Yeah, okay.
On shuffle. I'd put it in there.
Yeah, right.
or background music if people are over
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
I was just about to say I've also got it in my drinking music playlist just for that purpose. It's just there. We've just got different names for these things, the same meaning.
Same meaning, different names.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, shall we go on to one of your songs?
All right, yeah. So we'll do AWOLNATION, The Best.
Yeah, The Best, that's right.
You want me to go first or?
Yeah, I think give it a little bit of an introduction. When did you hear it first and blah, blah, blah?
It's quite a recent song. It's probably the last 6 months or so came out. Actually, I can tell you exactly. March. End of March.
Yep.
When they released their latest album.
So about like 6 or so months. Yep.
So this isn't actually the original one. This one is featuring Alice Merton. I don't know who she is, but she's not in the originals. She's only in the one I sent you.
The re-release or something, is that what it is?
Yeah, I don't know. They must have. Is she like
the partner of the singer or something? You know,
like
did she?
I don't. Maybe I don't know. I never heard of her before. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, you go.
Sorry, yeah. Okay.
We're too nice to each other.
I'm gonna fucking go, right?
Yeah, damn right. What did you say about me? No.
So the note that I gave you was to take notice of the timing with the vocals, and the guitar at certain points.
Like, because the main note I got on it, like specifically to what you said, was how I felt like, you know, obviously almost like the whole song's a build up, right? And then you hear his like, you know, I just want to be my best. And I felt that the drums really took, to me, they were the main stage of the song. They were the things I was focusing on most. And I mean, I think that's just stereotypical me. I like drums most. But in this song specifically, it had like that marching feel, the doof, doof. I mean, we can hear it in the background. It's like the drums are carrying the song the whole way through. Like, what guitar? You know what I mean?
That fast, that bit and then he's singing to it.
Yeah.
Like, I like how it matches up. Like,
and he's doing his fast speak thing.
Yes.
Where is it? Wait, I wrote down the lyrics there. Me, I wanna walk a little bit taller. Oh, me, I wanna feel a little bit. Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Yeah, and that like totally matches up with that beat. I think it's a guitar.
Yeah.
I really like that it matches up. Like,
I like that it matches up. I'm just not quite a fan of the guys.
The group. Yeah.
No. This guy's where it goes. I just want to be my best. You know, that just sounds too. I don't know. I didn't quite like it.
Okay, that's fine.
Not the whole song. I'm just specifically like, because obviously the song is catchy, very top 40 popish. I feel like, you know, it's very, and I liked how there was the chick's voice in it, even though now I'm realizing that she wasn't in the original. I'm trying to figure out what that part would have sounded like without her.
It's a slightly different. Yeah.
Is it he's just singing that same part? Is that what it is?
Because, well, in here they kind of, there is one bit where she does it on her own, but most of it they're singing at the same time.
Yeah, duo, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess, that bit where she does it on her own, she's not doing it on her own because he's doing it.
Yeah, I'm trying to pinpoint why I don't like
He does do it slightly different. He does do it a little bit different, but yeah.
I'm trying to pinpoint why I don't like it when he's doing specifically those parts that I just want to be my best. I don't know what it is, the effect on his voice or I'm trying to figure out why it doesn't sit well with me. Why? It's a personal thing, obviously. But like, why? I can't understand it. Anyway.
Yeah, so I also, you can hear, well, I could hear like a brass sort of instrument. I don't think it was... It was obviously digital, but it was sounding like a brass instrument. Like
some sort of
trumpet,
horn.
Not a trumpet, some sort of horn. And I thought that was quite cool too. I kind of like that.
I did like, because obviously I know I've got a bit of you specifically, but I've got a little bit of history with AWOLNATION. I know that they build songs up fucking well. So like, it's like it's an ever building song right up until the chorus, which is essentially their breakdown, their form of their drop, their whatever. And I like in the second drop, because that's after where the girl's voice was introduced, that's when they became like the duo. And I felt that was cool, that it was like, it definitely was more powerful, the second drop, second chorus. You know what I mean? Right. I'm using my lingo, even though they've got their own. But yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
So speaking of AWOLNATION, they did a Thursday Just Gone. Not that matters to the audience, because they don't know what day it is.
Thursday on that day back when. Oh God, time paradoxes. Here we go. No, anyway.
Oh no. So they did because a lot of bands now are doing a live streaming concerts.
Yeah.
Was
it virtual concerts or whatever? Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, so they were on stage singing to no one but cameras.
Oh, weird.
I know, for them that'd be so weird, but so
not just them though, like wrestling, bloody UFC. I mean, we're lucky here in Australia. Like football, they're allowing a specific amount of entrances, is like half capacity or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But a lot of places they're just like, no, we're not doing concerts like that, and it's like, oh fuck me, man. How is a starving musician meant to make money other than touring? That's how they do it.
That's exactly right. I mean, obviously they make some from releasing albums, but
I'm guessing it's nothing compared to the merch of selling shit on tour. Yeah, like that to me would be the big thing.
So I bought a ticket to go listen to that concert because it wasn't free. So but yeah.
Oh yeah. No. I thought you were about to say you were going to go see them live and they cancelled or something. But yeah, no. You bought a ticket to their virtual thing. Yeah. No, cool.
But it's actually really cool because so it's starting, you get into the queue where you log in or whatever.
Get in the queue.
You don't get in the queue, you log in.
Yeah.
Because it's not YouTube, it's their own.
Yep.
They have their own site now, a lot of them. But you can choose different camera angles. So you can have like side stage, backstage, or what they want to show you.
That is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
And I was like, that is fucking awesome. I don't want to choose different cameras, but the fact that I can.
It's your choice. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. That's like when I first heard of like some you got those 360 cameras, like some podcasts record in the 360 camera, because then you can choose to look at the producer and it's like, I've never thought that's such a cool idea. Not that I have ever used it, except for, the first time testing it, like having a look and seeing how they did it. But
it's an option.
It's an option. And I agree with you. You're all about options. So I think that's it's a good idea. It is.
Maybe not a 60 FPS visualizer.
Do you know how much bloody data that would be for a fucking 1080? Oh, imagine 4K 360 fucking 60 FPS.
Oh my god.
360. Oh, that just is too much.
360 is generally a low resolution.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'd imagine. But like trying to get the highest resolution possible. Because like what? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's continue on.
So I went to that concert and he's not the best live. So
that's not what you want to hear.
I guess because he hadn't warmed up or whatever. Maybe he needed to warm up with the first song or two. His voice is not suited to live.
Yeah, I could get that. And also, he's probably got a bit of nerves for doing this fucking weird concert thing. Do you know how efficient? Sorry, you go. Yeah.
But after the first couple, it was okay. I didn't notice it.
It could have just been warm up, yeah.
And I had it. I'm like, I want to feel like I'm in a concert, so I cranked it so loud. My ears were ringing after like I'd just been to a concert.
Was that in your ear? Did you have your earphones on or was that?
No, on speakers.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Can't
now,
concert
that's
headphones.
think of how efficient that is. They could have way more people viewing their concert than.
Exactly.
That's such a good idea, and as long as it's controlled by the band, that's the biggest thing that I worry about. Like it becoming a fucking ticket master or ticket tech, whatever company you choose, and they own it's up to them. Because there was a big thing with concerts being, especially festivals being cancelled because of this pandemic shit, and they're like, no, we don't offer refunds. It's just how we work. You know, but
Yeah.
that's so irresponsible. Anyway,
That is right,
Anyway.
yeah. And also,
that's a cool idea. I like that.
yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Because I know,
I can't think what else.
I know a podcast I watch, Your Mum's House podcast for everyone else. I listen to / watch, but they do a Your Mum's House live, and their live show you pay like $10 or whatever it is, and you go to their it's like, I can't remember what website it is. You know, they host the website and it's completely unfiltered. So there's none of this YouTube's terms of conditions bullshit. So they can show whatever the fuck they want on screen. And it's the funniest show ever. But you have to pay $10 to watch it. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's like this extravagant, like it's like a 2-hour fucking podcasting. And they have guests that come on. They've done like little skits that they show. And it's such a good idea because it's free reign. It's not controlled by fucking YouTube. Ugh.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't have to use YouTube. Yeah, and also like with like that, and with concerts and that, it's the whole world.
It's they have to. They have to do is one show, and it's for everyone.
Yeah, as long as you're in the right time zone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, or you can watch it later. Yeah.
So this week, I don't think you can. With
the one I'm talking about, you can pay for the archive afterwards. But some obviously is a one-time. Yeah.
So also this Saturday they're doing Linkin Park are doing one.
No, they're not. He's dead.
So maybe they're redoing old shows live.
Are they doing like a Tupac thing where they're going to like use lasers and make it so that Chester is there? Because if they don't, why?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they're just playing songs live. I don't know. But if his voice recorded, maybe. I don't know.
I would assume that they're going to put their thing through, like his voice is going to be like through the speakers. Yeah. Or like there's going to be like old recordings of him performing it played on the big screen. You know, there has to be.
Yeah, while the band is playing live.
Yeah, while the band is there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
are you going to watch that? Or?
Yeah, I've bought tickets to that.
You have? Yeah, right, I wondered.
And there's also, in December, there's a Gorillaz one.
Fucking
They've actually got 3 different shows for different time zones.
Oh, wow.
So they're considering other areas. So there's like Australian.
I just think they should do like the podcast one where they go, all right, you want to view this live or whether you want to watch it later, they should have a backlog and it just costs you $10 or whatever, the ticket price to view it. And you can watch it 3 years from now or you can watch it live, but it costs this amount. I think that's such a good way to do it.
I think with the Gorillaz one, though, that each concert, because you can buy a ticket to each concert, but you can buy a package of all 3. So maybe
they're going to be different.
Maybe they're different or they're connected differently. Because Gorillaz don't do a live show where you see the band players. Their live shows are always with the animated cartoons. No. Even if you go to their concert, it's on a screen. They've got like animated characters and stuff.
Okay.
It's like a story and stuff. They don't.
I hope it's a fun show.
You don't actually see their faces. Yeah. But yeah, so that's cool. Those sort of things. There seems to all be happening at once. Everyone's announcing bloody virtual concerts.
Yeah.
It must have just become practical lately.
Well, it makes sense as well. And also but the problem is like the only issue with that is think how many theaters are going to go under and how many,
Yeah, I mean, I still like the feel of going to a live concert,
I couldn't give 2 fucking shits.
The atmosphere is cool, but
you're 100% right with that. The only reason that it's a positive to go to a live is for the live atmosphere. So you got everyone there who wants to listen to the same songs you want to listen to, and you're all getting pumped up, listen to it, and it's great. The only reason why I don't like to go is because it's not the same. It's not the same bit of artwork. Like I could justify going to see like you said, the Muse or something because it's an extravagant show. It's this thing and. That would be fun, I would take a half a tab of acid or whatever, go see some trippy lights and shit. That's fun.
Exactly. It's not just the concert, it's a show.
And unfortunately, because I'm hell into like heavy music, like breakdowns, fucking guitar, metalcore shit. That's fun as fuck. But when I go to a show and see that, there's people moshing, throwing elbows at cunts, and I'm like just like, I'm headbanging, but I'm not moving around.
You're not there to bloody have a fight.
That's fucking ridiculous. I'm trying to watch these guys perform their heart out, and it's never as good as the actual song I've put in my earphones. You know what I mean?
True.
It's just for me anyway. I know it's all personal
And same, there's a band that me and my brother liked. We first saw them as a support act, but then we saw them as the main act once.
That's
it was
pretty
terrible.
cool.
The crowd was terrible there. The crowd was.
Oh, really? Oh.
It was a different atmosphere because they
Bastards.
They were there for that band, not for because they weren't a support act. You don't go to a concert for the support act.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because of that, it was like you said, everyone mosh pit and bloody trying to kill each other, and it's like, but I like the feel I had the first time I heard it. What are you doing? Like, because it was like a punkish sort of band.
Okay. Yeah.
But I didn't think their music would have people like that, but we didn't enjoy it. As a support act, it was fantastic because it was a different crowd of people.
So it was like,
reason.
Yeah, you want the supporters of the initial main headline act to have come seen the first supporting act in their main headline show. Yeah. That's a pain.
So it kind of ruined it the second time. We thought it was going to be good, and it was like, not that good.
No.
The music was fine, but the people were just shit.
You can never change that. I mean, what's like we said that other episode, we went to Futures and he had bloody crackheads coming up, like touching your. I can't believe that guy picked your fucking hand up to touch it. And it's like, hey, mate, no, get your hand. Don't wipe his fingers. What are you doing? Like, to be that so unaware of yourself and like think that that's just okay and whatever. And then you're like, to me, that's like kind of the same mindset of someone at a show ruining it for other people, making it about them and not about everyone. Like, we're all here, not just you. Yeah.
All right. So back to, we'll do your song next.
Yeah, chuck on. We'll go to my second song, which was Highly Suspect. That's the band. And they did a song called These Days. And it's acoustic, the acoustic version. And I don't know about you, but if you had have listened to the original, they're completely two different songs.
Yeah, they are. I did.
They are.
Accidentally.
Yeah. No,
but it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the original, I'll be honest. Like, I didn't even...
It's okay.
It's
very bass, very drum.
Yeah, it's rocky.
Very rocky.
Yeah, like, it's just sound like rock music, but when it's opened up by this acoustic song where it's just like you get the pure, like, breaking vocals, and just the acoustic, I fucking love it.
In the original version, I wrote down the drums are quite powerful. Maybe too powerful, I don't know.
Yeah, too powerful, ... Yeah, all right.
But so your note to me, what was that? What did you...
I wrote, I love this guy's voice in the acoustic, like all the imperfections.
Yeah, so like you say there, I exact same thing. The emotional, shaky vocals are so good. Just grabs your attention, like.
Ooh, I hate these days. I hate these days.
It feels personal, doesn't it? If
that comes in, if I listen to a playlist and that came in, that would grab my attention. I'd be like, oh,
I have to listen to this. Where is this going? Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I like as well is that it's the tuning of his guitar is slightly lower than half a step down. Like, so he's turned the knobs a few bits down, so that's how he gets that off note at the beginning. I didn't notice. And then right at the end, it ends with that same off note, so that it's like a conclusion to this story of like depression or whatever he's going through. You know what I mean? It's like I really like that it only featured it at the beginning and at the end, whereas the middle choruses that did use the same chords, he didn't have it on the off note, so it sounded right, but it still sounded like the same note, but just a little bit off.
A little bit off. Yeah.
I like it. I really found that interesting as well.
And so I was listening to it, and I'm like, I kept thinking this reminds certain bits. There's a certain verse or a certain section where like the start of a word or something. I'm like, that reminds me of another song. I cannot think what that song is, but I could like picture the song in my head. But so clearly, I'm like, what the fuck is that song?
Well, now all I'm thinking is, what the fuck is that song?
So eventually I found it.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to leave it as a cliffhanger. I'm like, the poor audience. Anyway.
So after like 10, 15 minutes of Googling.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Coldplay The Scientist.
Ah,
It reminds me of a little bit in there.
Coldplay.
Not the whole song, but every little bits and pieces.
I can't even picture that song. Give me one moment.
I think you'll understand once you hear. You have to get a little bit into it.
I hate these days. Nobody said it was easy.
Oh, dude, I can see it.
You can see what I was saying? Yeah.
Because he does like a welcome to meet you, you know, the E.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yep. I get what you mean, man, because he does, yeah, okay. That's a
And
cool
just
little
that-
tidbit. I fucking like that.
Yeah, just that little bit though, not the whole song, just that little,
Yeah.
just that. And
Where
like,
he
right,
bends the note, like he starts off at one note and pushes it up, like me, you know, yeah, okay.
yeah,
And with the
And so-
breaking of the voice, you know.
yeah. And just then, we just heard it. The song built up to,
Nothing matters, nothing matters, nothing matters, nothing matters, nothing. I hate these fucking days. I hate these fucking days.
like a lot going on.
Yeah.
And like he's getting angry and you could hear him swearing and that emotion
Oh,
there.
I
It's
love
so-
that part. Such a fucking powerful
So
part.
good.
And he's
And
like,
then it
nothing
drops off.
fucking matters, nothing fucking, like he's getting into it. And,
Yeah.
and ready, here, listen. Oh, we went past it. I was going to say, just that end part, you'd be able to notice the off note, what I'm talking about.
Here we go. Got that.
Nothing matters. Hey. Nothing matters.
There.
To do it, I didn't.
You can't
hear.
tell. No, that's the off note. That the very last time that he plays those set of 4 chords is he
Okay.
plays the off note with it, and it sounds so because the rest of the song it doesn't have it. Anyway, I should have pointed that out before this, like so you could have paid attention to it. Whilst,
Yeah, I see. I don't really know how instruments work that well,
okay.
so I don't actually. My ears aren't quite that trained.
No, that's fair enough.
I think because you play, you know how to play a bit of guitar.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Not great. I can.
Never have.
It's a hobby. I can't
Yeah.
play professionally.
and I never have, so I don't know.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to learn music. Like, I did piano when I was in primary school.
Yeah.
But this fucking.
Well, I think that's the problem as well. Like a lot of you would know would be knowledge, whereas it's not
Yes.
wisdom. Like because you can't
not
effectively.
hands-on.
There's no possibility. You know.
Yeah, because of my disability.
Yeah. No.
But also,
no
so when I was-
possibility.
So
Disability.
I was
Anyway.
I was learning piano in primary school,
Yeah.
and I stopped doing it because the teacher was like, he wanted me to do it properly, so he wanted me to sit the correct way and all this shit. Because of my disability, I couldn't quite do that, and so I'm like, I just stopped doing it because it was a pain in the ass.
How you got to think how many.
Like, I wasn't doing it to be a professional player.
No, exactly. And how many people have been turned away from a skill that they would love to have obtained, but because of an arsehole teacher or because, heck, even just a friend in the class said, oh, that's gay. You know, like how many times people have zigged instead of zagged, and now that they're a teacher or whatever, and they were going to be an astronaut, like, who knows? You could have been like, because you're obviously debilitated. So, like, imagine if you'd continued with that, but you're fucking, you know how you can just talk nonstop forever? Yeah. Imagine if you'd kept up with your fingers and, like, you had, like, 4 arms of steel, but the rest of you was what it was. But, like, just because that one cunt, fuck
It
him.
doesn't work like that, but okay.
No, it doesn't. It is, yeah, I know.
No,
In theory, it's fun to think about.
because technically, if I was to exercise, it would actually could make me weaker faster.
I guess because that's what
'Cause of the
exercise
way-
is, isn't it? Because you're breaking
Yeah,
the
well-
tissue for them to heal a bit
Because the thing
stronger.
is that
Yeah.
my muscles, they don't produce a certain enzyme that, they're supposed to keep it in the muscle, but my
Okay.
body just leaks it. It just leaks out the muscle.
Oh,
So I think it's called. That's not creatine, because creatine is something.
something. I know creatine's something that people take in, like, you know, the powder for
No,
your
I don't
gym.
think that's the word. But anyway,
Something.
and because it leaks out, it doesn't when your muscles break down, whenever they can't repair themselves
Yeah.
because that's not there, or there's not enough of it, or whatever. I don't actually know that too much about my disability.
No, fair enough. You have to fucking live it. You don't have to know about it. That'd be
Exactly.
That's a bit depressing. I guess it's
My
kind of like
my parents know all about it more than me.
yeah, but you can I can so understand being a mum or a dad, and like you just want to know everything and study everything. Like, how can I make sure my child doesn't bump his head? And then you like get helmet, and you get this, you get that, and you make sure that you protect your kid from bumping your head. So if you find out, your kid's got a disability, you're obviously just going to fucking dive deep into it, figure out everything, try every bloody possibility. Yeah.
So just to wrap that up, basically my condition is it's a deletion of genes in the DNA. A few bits of DNA missing. So not DNA, on the chromosomes. It's missing on the chromosomes.
Okay.
Because it doesn't happen in females, or it does, but it's very rare. Because females have 2 X chromosomes.
Yeah, okay.
So if one's faulty, the other one can
carry it
make
on.
up for it. But boys have an X and a Y.
So if you're missing one, you're fucked because you need the other to be a male. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
okay.
That's the basics of my
That's
condition,
interesting.
the deletion.
I think one day we should do a topic just on that because that's all interesting. Because I'm guessing you'll learn stuff as well. You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah.
I think that anyway. That's for the future.
Anyway,
Let's wrap up on this song. Give me your final notes where you'd put it in a playlist and blah blah blah.
But just before that though, it builds up over and then it gets louder and louder and then gets quiet all of a sudden. That shows a good vocal control because it's not like there's lots of instruments. It's just him and a guitar.
Yeah.
So to build up the voice, to build it up like that, it's shows quite a bit of control, I think.
I think to combine like control on not just the voice, it's the guitar as well, like being able to put enough force into each note, whether you're pushing it out through your lungs or whatever. But being able to, I completely agree, being able to bloody, on the soft side where he's doing it and it's just breaking and you can hear his voice like cracking, and then to also be able to do a similar effect when you're being so loud and being like putting just as much emotion into it without it just coming out as Velcro is like, it's just so fucking, it's bloody excellent.
So, and also I noticed I thought it's just to show how acoustic it was. Guitar amp, you could hear it buzzing or humming throughout the whole song.
Yeah.
In the background. And at the end when he stops singing, you can still hear it just as it fades out. I thought that was
on a separate note, did you watch the film clip to it?
Yes.
Where like kept cutting back and forth from animated to real life and, and about his dog and stuff like that. I thought that was so cool. Such a cool little film. Not that we're rating that here, but I just thought that was a nice, cool little interesting film clip. And especially for just an acoustic song, they went to the effort. Nice.
And just before I wrap up with I didn't notice it in the song when I had my headphones in. You could hear there's a lot of reverb or echo on his voice or on the whole thing. And I thought, I didn't really. It was quite extreme when I put the headphones in.
I thought,
And obviously you listen to all of them through headphones, don't you? Or
I when I'm at work, when I do the listen to it, but I specifically try to make sure I do a lyric run through on my computer. So like I got my speaker set up.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd put that in it's probably the same list as the other one.
Yep.
Background music, or even if I make a more serious listening list as well.
Yeah, I get that, definitely.
Because I rarely do go through serious listening, but when I do, I'd probably put that in there. That's not a bad one.
I've put it in my I've got like an acoustic playlist, which is just like it's for acoustics and like versions of songs, and but I've also got it in my personal playlist, which is titled my name, but like it's just that's like the playlist. I think that would be your serious listening playlist. Like these are I want to listen to this song.
That's how I'm listening to music now, nothing else. All right,
anyway, next on to one of your songs, mate.
All right, let's do Glass Animals, and the song is Heat Waves.
Can I start this one off?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I went in to not like this song almost. Not, and I don't know what. I just
Do you
clicked
know
on
the
it.
artist, or?
I've heard a couple. Like I know the name Glass Animals. I know that rings a bell, right? But I couldn't pick out a particular song. But for some reason, I went in with like a. All right, let's get this over and done with. You know what I mean? I had that. And it turned out to be my favorite of the three. I liked them.
Wow.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yes. I did. I put it in my I put it in my Just Keep Vibing playlist. Like
Yeah,
that.
I wasn't sure. Because what was my note to you was, what do you think about his voice? I think it's unique, like only he sounds like that.
Yeah.
And then I said, and whether you like it or not.
Yes.
So I wasn't sure if you were going to like it.
I do. Now, I mean,
You do.
I'm gonna quickly cap that. Well, your note off with my note. I'm struggling to see anything special about his voice. Like it's super nice, but I'm trying to pick out the uniqueness, and I don't know what you're talking about. So I'd love for you to try and pinpoint. I know it's gonna be hard, but like I can't. It sounds like I'm hearing bloody a little bit of the script. I don't know. I can hear it in other places.
Yeah. Okay, well maybe I just don't know those other artists that you know. Because I don't know the script and I don't know any.
I don't like because
I'm just trying to see right now. Like
I wrote and then I deleted it because I thought it was a bit mean. But I wrote it like not mean. I wrote I felt like you could turn on the radio and you'll hear it eventually that day. Like
the song,
not this song.
His voice.
The sounding of the voice. You know. It
okay. Well, yeah. I guess. Because he is obviously from the UK.
Okay.
So he's got a slight...
He's obviously got his little twang,
He's got a slight little accent or something.
But I do like his how he's like softly rapping / singing. You know what I mean? He has that...
Yeah. Because I've watched a lot of... he did some other YouTube videos where it's just him during COVID and he would release a live video of him mixing a song.
Oh, okay.
So he'd pick a song, he'd go... we're going to do this Lana Del Rey song, but he does a cover. He does it live.
That's cool.
And he just, you hear him, but when he goes to sing, he doesn't even have to like warm up or anything. He just does it. And he sounds like he does in the song.
Fire.
But it's so effortless how he just sings. Like he doesn't have to think about it. He just does
Isn't that great? Like some people have that natural ability of just being able to belt out just a tune that... there's no way. My voice is built for being at the footy and losing it and screaming at the like that's my ancestors. There's no opera singer in my background.
Runs in the family.
Yeah. So that's just it's so out of the options. Like it's not even possible for me.
Yeah. But like you say, I don't typically like a lot of their songs. There's only like one or two I like.
Okay.
So they're not one of my favorites or anything. They're just
no.
But this song in particular stood out, and I thought, oh,
well, I'm
cool.
glad because I've just I did add it to my playlist. You know, I always not just for this song specifically, but like with all songs, I always feel like it's such a positive, such a great thing to find a song you can add to a playlist. It's such a nice feeling of like, dude, I did it. All those shit songs I listened to and I found a good one. Fuck yeah. Like it's such a I don't know, it's such a good outlook to have.
Also, I think it's because it's so hard. I find it so hard to come across new songs that do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. It's so few and far between.
I don't know if I always want to find new music, but where do you start? Like, you don't know it's good until you listen to it. And
you're right. You're right.
And how do you listen to it? I mean, Spotify's definitely made it a lot easier for me to search for new songs.
Okay.
Because you can play stuff and it'll just put something else on after.
Yeah. Play next.
And it's similar. And I've found a few songs lately like that. So.
What's that saying? We are but ships sailing in the night. So like, you're not going to know how many strangers you walk past. One of them could be your soulmate, but you're never going to know because there's nothing even communicated. So
exactly.
But like same thing with songs. How many songs have just floated past you and you haven't even given it the time to put it in your ears And that was going to be the song for the rest of your life. Heck, you may have even you may be, that's the soundtrack to your life. But because you just didn't listen to it, just this simple act of, nah, not today. It's so fucking, there's too many possibilities.
There was a song that I heard a long time ago, back when Pandora was a thing.
Oh yeah, fucking hell.
And it was so good, and I wanted to find it, and I've never been able to find it since. And that so upset me when I try to find it the next day, because I'm like, why is there no fucking history on this Pandora? Like, what the fuck? How am I?
That's where you bring out Shazam when the song comes on. You're like, quick, what is it? Bam. I guess when you're on Pandora, it tells you anyway, dickhead. Yeah.
Didn't think it at the time.
No, you're not thinking about it.
And I could picture the cover. I could see the cover. It was mostly red.
I know that feeling. It's like when you're trying to search for an old song that you know you love, but you're like, I don't even know the title or the artist, but I know, I watched it on music videos when I was younger. What is it? Yeah.
The closest I got was I thought it might have been a Queens of the Stone Age song, but I don't think it was.
Okay.
Because I went through all their music and couldn't find the one that I thought. Yeah. So anyway, back with that song.
Yeah.
The Heat Waves. I noticed throughout it's quite a heavy bass line throughout it. And you can hear a bit of distortion when the bass with vocals are together.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was on purpose.
Hollywood, laying on the screen. You just need a better life than this. You need something I can never give. Fake water all across the road. It's gone now, the night is come.
I think that was intentional, because it doesn't sound too bad. I like it.
No, probably. Yeah, I would have thought so, because he sounds like he's an actual producer. Like
Yeah.
That definitely would be.
That's the last note I had for that.
Only thing is, I got. Well, yeah, I'll do that. I'll wrap it up. I did one of the notes was I like how the distorted voice parts where, like you just mentioned,
like at
how
the start,
and like how you kind of wanted that because he's got such a nice voice. You want the distorted voice parts to it's the contrast to the light. You need the dark. It really fit in.
Yeah.
And that's something that I picked up heaps on was just obviously he's such a good singer, clearly, just very clearly.
Yeah, it's very effortless.
But not only that, he's such a good producer, piecing all these parts together.
He's definitely an artist, that's for sure.
Yeah, and not just that, a prideful artist. He wants to make sure his work is it reflects him. Yeah, no, very good.
He's meticulous and
Yeah, all right. So as I said earlier, I'll put that in my Just Keep Vibing playlist, which is
so that's where I would put
it's
it.
It's
in
background music, not intense listening, but it's background music.
Maybe if you got friends over.
Yep.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. So let's move on to your final one.
My final song, which is a cover of Frank Sinatra's "That's Life" by.
Oh wow, that's what the guy looks like.
By Shawn James.
Oh, I didn't even know what Shawn James looked like, and now I've just looked at the video and he's not how I pictured. He almost looks like Angus.
I was about to say
he almost looks like Angus. Can't picture Angus. He's more like Angus. Oh, he's got the earrings though.
He's got the. Oh yeah, I mean right. If you're just going off of that, yeah, definitely. All right.
Well, I haven't seen. Last time I saw Angus, he had a bit of a growth going on, didn't he?
No, he has a beard, but his hair is shaved off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. Oh, that's Been a while since I've seen Angus. We have to catch up sometime.
Definitely, I'll have to put that in.
Yeah, so
I'll just tell you, my note for it that I sent to you was, it wasn't for you to pay attention to anything, it was just enjoy the song. So just a master musician playing a classic master flair. I thought it's such a nice song. Oh, now it's playing in the background. I'm getting, it's nice. It's soothing. It's about the goods, the bads. You need the shit to have the good, you know?
Straight away you get the acoustic guitar.
No.
It's such an old acoustic guitar sound, like classic, you know, like classic sound. I don't know what type of guitar that is.
I was going to say whether that is the guitar, the type of strings, the type of microphone that he decided to use, or he's using a specific pick or whatever, you know. That's so many things playing to the sound that comes out. It's very
like metallic-y.
Yeah.
So it must be metal strings, but when I first listened to the speakers, at the second time, I almost had to think like, are those guitar? Is that guitar real? Is it like electronic? Is it like digital, or is it like, I don't know, what do they call it? It's not CGI, but what's the equivalent for music?
What if it's fake? Like someone put it in there after the fact.
like it's been made by a computer.
Oh, synthetic or something. I don't know.
Like
synthesized
guitar.
Yeah.
It sounded like, I was so convinced it was a fake synthesized
I'm
guitar.
certain he's playing it.
But it's not. No, you can see. Because you can see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just sounded like, I was like, oh, that sounds weird. But I guess it's because the strings are metal and it's very...
He's probably going for the older style because it is an older song. He wants to keep it to sound like similar to the classic in a way.
But I only noticed that sort of with the headphones. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not their downfall.
And with the headphones, you can notice, again, a heavy reverb echo kind of thing going on, but only on his voice, I think. His voice had the echo, but the music didn't.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May.
My guess would be the different type of mic just for the voice compared to the one down at his guitar.
Yeah, he's put reverb on his voice or whatever, which a lot of artists do. But
maybe.
Yeah, no, you're right, though. It's just, he's got a very powerful voice.
Oh, powerful.
That's the first thing I noticed was like...
How long he can hold a note, like... Well, not just a note, string a bunch of notes, but like how long his breath is, you know what I mean? He's like... There's a reason he's a big boy, you know what I mean? He's fucking... He can belt it out.
I just pick myself up and get back in the race that's life. Oh, you know I can't deny it. Many times I thought of cutting out, but my heart won't buy it.
Yeah, very powerful.
Very powerful. My papa used to listen to Frank Sinatra like on records and shit. And this one song sticks out because everyone knows it.
It's quite a known.
Quite a popular classic song. But yeah, no, I just love that. I think also because I found that cover and then I showed my parents and my mum fucking loved it and like.
Yeah,
I don't know. I liked. Yeah, it's meaningful to me. I like it.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's good when songs mean something to you.
What did
I mean, and what it means to you is not what it means to him.
Yeah, damn right. And it's not what it means to you. It's not what it means to exactly.
And that's what is so good about art is that whole thing.
Well, once you release a bit of artwork, it's no longer yours. It's
exactly.
just you get to see people observe it, you know, and they get to have the feelings.
You can't tell someone how to feel about your stuff.
No, I think you that's one word too long. You can't tell someone how to feel.
Yes,
because you can't even tell yourself how to feel. You feel, and then you're the witness to the feelings, and then you try and explain them after the feeling has happened. And it's like,
and you want to share that with everyone else, and that's right. Yeah, and that's exactly how it should
would
be.
You save that anywhere?
I'd probably put it in my like going to bed list, my friends over list, maybe. But
okay,
I don't think I would purposefully listen to it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Not that I don't like it, but it's just I wouldn't.
Well, it's one of those songs you're not gonna. It's quite powerful, so it's not just you can't just chuck it on willy nilly.
Yeah,
no, that's fair.
But I might put it on the background and stuff. But it's probably not going to go in any of my lists.
No, it's all right.
It's fantastic, and he's a very, very good singer.
Yeah. I've got it in just a playlist called These Motherfucking Songs, Man. And
Those are good ones. Give you the chills.
Yeah, exactly. Just the songs that I probably only got like 50 songs in there, whereas all the other playlists are like topping up like 300 odd songs, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
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 All
the ones
right.
that give you the feels.
So we got your last one,
song,
innit?
which is Battle Lines by Bob Moses.
Oh, I can't. Are you about to whack it on in the background?
If I click the right button.
Yeah, no, because nothing's coming to my mind right now. I'm trying to think of it. Yep, all right, yep.
So my note to you was the guitar. Take note of the guitar solo.
At the time.
2 minutes 50.
Yep. So, well, on that, I thought it was quite like, I mean, it's a very repetitive song.
Yeah, it's.
And I kind of just.
Music.
No, definitely. I definitely liked how powerful, like, you know, everything kind of broke away, and it was this sick guitar, like, I don't know, bluesy kind of solo, I guess, kind of bluesy. I don't know, I'm struggling for the words to use, but I wish that happened a little bit sooner and the song ended sooner. Like, it just went on for quite a while. Like, I pictured either the solo should have started at like the 1.5 minute mark, or
a lot of their songs,
the song should have started at 1.5 minutes, one of the two.
A lot of their songs are quite long there. Their live music is like club music.
Yeah, okay.
So
okay, doof,
I guess that length carries over, and they have a lot of bass in their songs.
No,
Not so much this one, but the other ones are very
bassy.
The first ones I started listening to were very bassy and.
Okay.
I don't like their live stuff because it's like club music and I don't like it.
No, fair enough. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense because you want to, the aim for a live show is almost to get people to move around, isn't it? So
exactly.
Yeah.
If you're at a concert somewhere listening to it, it would be great, but not in your own time, I don't feel, for me.
Now, I didn't mind this guy's voice either. Like he does this
good.
like humming monotone type voice thing like this where he's like right now, obviously we can hear it.
Yeah.
He's just going and humming and singing, you know, like it's. It's a softer, like it's not, he's not trying to like yell at you or anything, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of his songs have that kind of voice.
Okay.
It's two people, it's not just, it's one person singing, but it's a 2-person group.
Oh, okay.
I think one guy must do all the DJ stuff and the other guy. So it's electronic, a lot of their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe one's the producer or they both are just combo or whatever.
Yeah. Very rarely they have guitars and stuff in it.
Okay.
That's not normal.
That's not normal. Fair enough. All right.
But yeah, I mean, it's a noisy song. Like, it's got a lot going on. At certain points, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, they definitely put a, I don't know.
It builds up to a lot.
There's like when a song gets hectic and then it cuts out because it's, I don't know. Oh, this right here. I was about to say, here it is. Because I love that, like the bluesy, and it's got like the electronica feel over the top, like so you got the doofs and the beat in the background, but it is very bluesy. Like
I like those noises. I don't know if they're from the guitar, but those like I don't know, like mocking noises, like the
like him. No, it would be because it's like him, like, you know, it could be, it might not be, but you know, when you're playing like a solo, you sometimes, you know, you palm mute, so you push your palm down on the note, and then when you lift up, you're like, just the elasticity in your hand is enough to like kind of pluck the guitar. You know, there's so many different little clicks and clacks, and the guy could be wearing a long sleeve shirt which has a button on it, and that they can be using that. You know, there's so many things. Hey.
Yeah.
Nah, all right.
My other notes was I like his voice. And
same here.
The transition from the song to the guitar solo was cool.
Okay.
Like, it was very well done, I thought.
It was smooth, obviously, yeah.
And also,
nothing picked up in my mind.
Once the guitar comes in, also, you can hear the guitar's amplifier humming again.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
buzzing
that's like
or whatever.
necessary. It's a nice little, added bonus to it.
I really like songs where, like, when the guitar comes and you can hear them plug it in.
Yeah,
and you get that like through the amp, you get that feedback of them plugging it in.
Yeah,
I love that sound.
That's always fun.
So good.
Now,
it's like, oh, here we go. Something's about to happen.
Oh, it's about to start. Quick.
Oh, shit's going down.
It's kind of reminds me of the Tim Minchin So Fucking Live. You know, the very start where he walks out to I'm so rock or whatever it's called, where he's like picking it up and it does all the
adding
feedback.
In the drums and the keyboard and all those different things.
That was cool.
Even though he's not playing anything.
So one of my notes, I'll do that straight after this. So I know that last note I got on it is I kind of felt like the song was trying to get somewhere, but it never got there. It felt like the solo was almost, it was like it didn't get far enough. There was meant to be a drop. There was meant to be something, but this is all in my mind. Obviously, the artist made their artwork, but I don't know. I felt like it never arrived at the destination. It just and I think that also leads into it was a bit repetitive. It was too long. I don't know. Maybe if it ended on that solo and the solo was a bit earlier, I would have been like, I would have been satisfied. But because there was more, I'm not sure.
So maybe this is because that song's part of an album. So maybe it's all
linked together. Like this is meant to be the maybe. You're right there.
Maybe we're missing something because it's not the whole album.
Dude, and audience, if you think that's the case, feel free to let us know on our Facebook page or Instagram, wherever you're around.
And also on Anchor, you can leave a voice message that we can.
Now that's a cool idea.
Add into our podcasts.
And now, Stephen's mum, don't go doing that. She gets featured on our fucking podcast. That'd be hilarious. That'd be fucking hilarious. They'll all be nice ones, I bet. If we ever listen to them in the future, we'll be like, friends and stuff. Or they'll be terrible, one or the other.
One or the other. Yep. Or we can embarrass people by putting it in.
yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so the place I would put that, I wouldn't really add that to any of my playlists, I'll be honest, man.
No, I haven't in my
It was an interesting listen though, like that. I think that's the hard part, like, because I'll listen to any song once, like for sure. There's no...
So give it a go.
Yeah.
Of course.
And now all these little things that we're nitpicking is just because it's all personal preference. And I don't at all want to, like when I said his voice is good. It suits his like humming monotone thing. I didn't want that to come across as bad because generally a monotone singer is like, that's bad, they're shit. But I don't mean that. Yes. I meant like he wasn't like, he wasn't like doing all these weird freaking things. It was nice, but it could have come across as bad. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I kind of think, see, his music is sort of, I like his first album a lot better, but it's more like background stuff. It's like if you had people over, you could put it in the background and it would be fine. Like it would just sit there and... Oh, no,
you spot on with that. I agree. I could picture that. Like that's playing on while we're playing a drinking game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I could see that. Yeah. Not that I wouldn't intentionally put that on in my drinking playlist, but I could see that being in the background, definitely.
Yeah. Being open-minded.
yeah. I'm not closing the door. All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that's a nice wrap-up on the notes, on the music notes. Alrighty, and we're gonna head on to the movie review now of The Cloverfield Paradox, which was released in 2018. I like it. That's actually pretty cool. It's an action adventure horror. I would have just called that thriller, but that's just me.
True,
because it is kind of a thriller, but the adventure's in there.
It was very close to almost. It could have been a comedy too.
You're right. No, it could have but I guess because that's not a main presence. It's not like watching, Shaun of the Dead or whatever. So it's not like
I love how they let the physics fuck shit up. Oh my God.
How good is it? Like they really went, when it said that it can unlock chaos when they turn the machine on. I love that they actually went there. They went with all like, no.
So messed up.
Because they don't even need to justify why certain things happened is because they're not working to the laws of our reality. They're in this other separate thing.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So
let's just quickly read out this sentence that caps off the movie nicely. It says,
yes.
orbiting a planet on the brink of war, scientists test a device to solve an energy crisis and end up face to face with a dark alternate reality.
Yeah.
Which is like, nail on the head. Fucking hammer. Yeah. Hit the nail on the head, not hammer.
So,
Anyway.
so they start the movie off with you can hear a radio report in the background or something.
Oh, you about to
So, like,
steal
the
my
car-
fucking trivia?
On the car radio,
Yeah.
and they explain that the world they've got a particle accelerator up in space, trying to be able to make free energy for the world because they're running out of energy.
And do you know who said that?
Who said that?
I
do.
You pulling my leg?
No, I do.
You do?
I know.
All right.
Well, I didn't know at the time, but I saw
No,
it
not
after.
at the time. I didn't. I read it after. You do it. I'm not stealing it. You go.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah, that motherfucker. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. I think that's cool. We only just
I didn't
watched the
even
movies
notice.
a couple weeks back.
And
No, I didn't notice. Like I read that afterwards, and then I played the start of the movie again just to see it. But yeah, I thought that was fucking interesting, isn't it?
So, like, straight away, I was thinking, all right, so obviously the particle accelerator, it's not going to go right.
No.
That's going to fuck up shit.
Yeah.
And also,
I mean, we were worried in real life. Remember, it was like 2009
yeah.
or something like that.
LHC,
Yeah.
Large Hadron Collider.
And
yeah.
they were powering it up for the first time, and there was talks of like black holes and like maybe a dark matter was going to swallow. You know, like there was talk, and we were just like meant to go to school and meant to just fucking, you know, it was weird. I remember that, so I can imagine. Yeah, in the movie, there would be hysteria.
Yeah. So they really like to go with the ominous music, like the creepy, because right when the pre-credits come up, like the credits at the start of the movie, you can hear the music was so like ominous. And
They may as
evil
well have
and
played the
mysterious.
Jaws sound, you know.
And that as well.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it was like, yeah, I get what you mean.
But that pre-credit thing where they're showing the credits, it was really clever because in the background they had like a montage going of people doing their jobs on the station throughout the day. But it wasn't like everything that happened in one day. They were showing bits and pieces of like 600 days.
Like what life would be like living on the ship.
So
yeah.
like the first day, they obviously start the accelerator and it doesn't work. So then they keep doing it, but they don't show you them keep doing it. They just do like the montage of one day, but bits and pieces of different days.
Until eventually they get
to the day when all shit happens.
And it's like, it's also getting you familiar with their dynamic, who does what, and who's
exactly.
in charge, at least, like the basic hierarchy of the people on the spaceship.
And I just thought that was interesting and different. You don't normally see that sort of thing happen.
And again, that's almost, and not again, I don't know why I said that.
Good place to put credits at the start.
It's one of the only times I've ever been interested in the starting credits, because all other times I find it like a waste. Like, why? Just put this at the end.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I'm happy for like to have, you know, all right, here's the three main actors and here's the director and writers or whatever, you know, that those I get. And like showing you a picture of who those actors are playing, that's nice. But in the end, all of that could be at the end. Like, I mean, we're watching a movie, like, I don't know. It feels like a waste of time. I mean, the easiest example is like 007 or whatever, you know, James Bond. They've always got that.
They do it.
They do their stupid friggin' song, which every single time, not once have I sat through it unless I've been at the cinema.
Yeah.
Or the movies or whatever you guys call it, the theater.
Yeah. So, I thought that was an interesting take on.
No, you're
if
right.
you're going to put credits at the start, that's how you do it.
For our preferences, I think so. That's the ideal.
Yeah, if you're going to do it. Rather you didn't. But,
Yeah.
But, I mean, there was empty space, so that was fine to put it in there.
But it's also...
They didn't need characters talking. They didn't need...
In this situation, it's necessary, I think, yeah.
But then they do it again at the end anyway, so why do they even do that? I never understood that. I guess because people don't watch the credits, they walk out.
Dude, so many people don't watch the credits, yeah. I mean, not that I watch it, but I let it play and that's my time to go to the toilet. And if I'm like, oh, who played that person? I'm like trying to see who the director was. But generally nowadays, you just look it up on your phone, don't you? You don't really need it.
So, and also they don't, throughout the movie, they don't point out people's names. Like, if it comes up that they use a name, then that happens.
Yeah.
But they don't go out of their way to, like, tell us, the viewer, their names.
Oh, isn't that nice? It's not treating us as children. Like you know,
some
when someone walks
characters-
into a room, they're like, hey, Jay, it's been a long time since I've seen you. The last 3 weeks was the last time I said, like, they're trying to give you too much info.
Times.
Yeah, yeah. And then they say,
Hey,
like,
Jay,
and you,
how was your day, Jay?
yeah, how was your day? And your pregnant wife
How's your
who's
wife,
about
Jay?
to give birth to triplets, like just continuously feeding off information that's like, they wouldn't have said that. They already know each other.
And so, like, a lot of the time their uniform had their last names on them. Also, there was a bit at the start where her husband on Earth, she was doing a video call.
Wait, say that again. What did you say?
The main woman's husband on Earth.
I thought you said on Earth A.
No, on Earth.
no, but like on Earth A, like there's Earth A and there's Earth B. I thought you were going into that specifics.
No.
I was like, fucking hell, he's gone in depth.
So you could see when the Skype call was connected, you could see his name.
Yep.
Stuff like that. So they hit the names in there. And then obviously they do call out to each other throughout the movie and stuff. So that does come up there. But they didn't make it obvious, which is kind of nice.
It's not treating us like children and patting us on the head.
No,
it's like
I
try and
hate it
figure
when they
some
do
of it
that.
out.
Like there was a movie on the other night and I can't remember what happened. They're like, well, why'd they do that? I go, to tell us.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
To tell the people watching.
They have to just, yeah. And
Like
but
they think we're stupid.
that pulls you out of it though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yep, day 694 of testing, and finally it works. And then it goes boom.
Yeah.
And then, oh snap, the Earth is gone.
Imagine that's where I wrote. I'm like my note because I'm like typing this as watching it. I'm like, oh fuck! Imagine being alone, like for infinity. Like, like what would you do?
Nothing.
I think as soon as I found out that, I would start working on my eventual pain-free suicide plan. Like, it's coming. It's coming. Like there's no other way out.
So once they did that, I'm thinking, so all right, did they teleport? Have they changed dimension? Have they time traveled?
Yep.
Have they gone through a wormhole?
What's
What
going
is
on?
going on?
Yep. I completely agree. I like his.
I didn't know because I'd forgotten. I had watched it before, but
I like the
didn't know.
the monk's quote where he's like, "We need to consider that we may have ended the lives of billions of people," and like he's like choking up, and I'm like, my first thought was like, "End all the other animals, you selfish prick." Like, you fucking cunt. How we may have destroyed Earth. I think that encapsulates everything. All right. You don't need to go like, oh, but just the people. Everything. Everything. I feel like that was just like, come on, mate. Stop. I don't know. But I guess it's because I don't like people as much as animals. So.
And then later on, they this is like throughout the movie, my process of trying to work out what had happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
So my next note, I don't know when, it was later on, they find the gyroscope thing that obviously tells the spaceship which way is left and right.
Yeah.
So they can know where they are. And they find that and they do a search and they find out they're still in the same solar system and then they're just in a different position and the Earth is still there. They're like the opposite side of the sun or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Because they look at the sun,
spot.
they see it pop out behind the sun. And so I'm thinking, yeah, but why did they move? Like this, maybe it's a parallel universe. Maybe it's like,
Didn't they say something about because everything's upside down, like all of their...
Yeah.
Something about not just
the ship was upside down.
Not just the ship was upside, like everything, like going down to like even how the computer would be calculating where they are. So their view is now just upside down. So they should have been on the opposite side of the sun, but they were actually, because of the somehow, I don't know, the 180 degrees of that, they're now on the other side, you know? I don't know. I wonder.
So I won't get into it too much now. We'll do it it's just after this, but we'll do it now anyway. So they find a woman in the ship. We'll explain what happens a bit later.
Yeah.
And so there's a group photo on the wall that you see at some stage, and it's got her in it.
Yeah.
And it's got all these other, and the whole crew and this other woman. So then I'm thinking, no, they're on a different ship.
They've now moved to their ship. They've moved to the 𝗧𝗵𝗲 ship.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I actually don't know if that's what it is, but so
no, that kind of makes sense. No. Here's an off the head thought. Like, because they're the anomaly in Earth B or Universe B, right? But they think they're currently on their ship and their ship transported somewhere, right? They're the anomaly, and I think that's why the Chris O'Dowd character and all of them, there's all these errors happening around them in this reality. Because they're not meant to be there. Everything that they are emitting when he's like touching the wall and it absorbs his arm, you know, like it's because he's from Earth Universe A and he's reacting with Universes B material, and that just doesn't work.
Not compatible.
There's not compatible, and things get fucked up because everything fucks up, not just like around him, but around.
So the ship, So on Earth A, we find out that the ship, Earth B, in the second universe, their ship has crashed into the Earth, right? So they can't be on that ship.
But how does that ship have the picture of the blonde girl as the in the crew?
Actually, no. Did the ship from Universe B go back to A? And then crash? No, it didn't, because they just disappeared on Earth, didn't they? Yeah, because the husband and that, they couldn't contact them, they just disappeared. So yeah, how did that photo get there?
So so I'm thinking,
paradox.
Was
fucking paradox.
Maybe, fuck me, was she? No, because she knew her background. No, okay, no, because I'm thinking like maybe that blonde bitch was from Universe A, but when the incidents occurred, she got moved, but therefore she got removed from their memories, their reality. But she was in there. She was a Universe A.
Unless there's 3 universes. Maybe there's 3.
Maybe there's 17.
Maybe both. Maybe both Blondie and the original crew got moved onto a third ship.
Oh man, and it's like the third ship is like the third universe is like the space in between Universe A and B, so it's like a combination of the both.
Wow, mate, yeah.
And it's like it's now another parallel universe only to those two. Oh fucking hell, man! It's like when they explain universes as like bubbles, right? And there's like bubbles connect to each other, and it's like that universe is like the space that connects the two bubbles together, and it's like a mixture of the two. Fucking hell, man!
So then
our brains aren't made to think like this.
No. Well, how did they make the movie?
There's someone much smarter.
So then my thought went to, of course, there's 2 universes, so different universe, but they've moved in space, but not necessarily at the same time. So they're in the exact same physical space of a second universe. So the reason they're not in the same place they started is because they've like back in time, so the orbit is at a different position. Do you know what I mean? So when you time travel, like if you time travel right now, the Earth will disappear, it'll move. Unless you go change your space as well.
Yeah, because the universe is ever moving to.
So that's why the woman ended up in the wall. That's why she ended up in the wall, because the spaces were different.
Yeah, but how is she on the ship because the ship crashed? Unless because before
She got teleported.
before her ship crashed, it teleported because maybe it went through the similar thing that ship A went through.
Yeah,
but
they just fucked up worse.
They fucked up worse, and it collided with the Earth instead of somehow managing to. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and she got pushed across into ending up inside the ship's wall.
But maybe she didn't go anywhere. She stayed still, and
universe
moved into her. That's why all those wires and shit were like all through her.
That was so freaky, like, because that's where I'm up to in my notes now. So
yeah, that was so weird.
What the fuck? There's a woman in the wall. What the fuck?
Fucking crazy.
Like the ship teleported, and they're both in the same physical space. They're both occupying each other. Like, it makes so much sense though. If that happened in real life, you wouldn't just end up in a bed, nicely all tucked in.
Yeah, or standing randomly in the hallway perfectly.
Yeah, you might end up halfway through a fucking wall.
Oh, chopped in half, yeah, bloody good.
I know, and that's what I like about it, is that's what would happen. If not, you'd end up in a vacuum of space or something, but...
So,
oh, wow.
So that's where it's like, how did she know her name? And you're like, oh, okay, so different timeline. Is she on another?
That's Hamilton is the name she knew. I don't know what the blonde girl's name was.
I can't remember her name.
I just wrote it down as random woman.
Yeah. But like, did she get, was she like, that's where I'm thinking, like, is she erased from the other people's minds, or was she was a part of Universe B? Like, that's where it's like, fuck, man, I can't pick it. I can't pinpoint. Well,
it turned out she just knew her from
Universe B.
From the other universe. They were friends, and she got in to be the mechanic, and the other one didn't, or whatever, because that main woman wasn't on the crew. She was like, because the woman who was in the wall was like, how did you get here? How are you here? You were on Earth.
Yeah, because in that universe, she didn't actually get onto the spaceship.
Yeah, she still had kids, so she didn't go.
Because she didn't kill it. Yeah, she didn't kill her kids. That's right. Because the battery or whatever it was.
And that's when you see the group photo of the whole crew, and she's in it, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
I like it right there where they're discussing, like they're grouped around the table discussing what had happened, and the German, the trustful German, he says, oh, calm down. We didn't destroy the Earth. We just lost it. And then Chris O'Dowd's character goes, okay, totally routine day. Copy that. Like being a smart ass. I'm like, oh, you're right. Because like, oh yeah, just normal. We just lost the Earth. It's all right.
It's all right. We just lost it. It happens every day.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stay on this character of this woman for a bit.
Yeah, yep, go. Let's go into it.
That we're talking about her, we might as well do the whole lot with her. So a bit later on, because she doesn't trust Schmidt, because in her universe, the German dude had betrayed them or sabotaged or whatever.
Yeah.
So he says to her, you realize it was the other Schmidt, which is his name. You realize it was the other one who betrayed you, not me.
Yeah.
And the look on her face is like, I'm thinking to myself, oh, but you are still a Schmidt. You are still a Schmidt. You're not the Schmidt. So you might still be an arsehole. You just haven't done it yet.
Just yet. Yeah, but you can trust him throughout the whole movie though, can't you?
There was one bit where he looked a bit evil at one place, the way he was.
Yeah, but I think that they were trying to portray him as to don't trust him.
They were trying to do that, yeah.
You know, but
because after that, a bit later on, I was like, oh, maybe she's the bad one. Okay. Or she just wants to kill Schmidt because she doesn't trust him. And then it's like, nope, she wants the ship to save her Earth. Because she wanted to, at that point, she's like, she wants to betray everyone because they're not her people. They're not from her universe. So now she wants to steal the ship because they worked out how to make infinite energy.
Yeah.
They fixed it, remember? So now she wants it to save her Earth and fuck them all.
And who gives a shit about the other one?
Exactly. And it's like, oh, of course, that makes so much sense. And then, so she says to him, oh no, because they've all got guns and they're pointing at each other and stuff. And someone says, if you're asking me if I would kill three people to save 8 billion, wouldn't you? She says that, and that was pretty cool.
That's a pretty powerful moment, and like, yeah, of course you would. Yes, makes sense. But then, but where's the line? Is it almost? Would you rather destroy 3 billion people and keep your humanity of compassion, or do you like where? Yeah, I don't know, because you'd almost like say, fuck it, like maybe we're not meant to make it past this if it means that we are just killing people willy nilly.
Exactly. And then so they have a scene there where I thought it was quite typical of a horror movie. So the main character, which is the black woman with the frizzy hair.
Yep.
She's hiding from the strange woman because she's hiding behind stuff, and the bad woman's like saying things like,
trying to coax her out. Yeah,
she's walking around the ship trying to look for her and like antagonize her and then to bait her out so she can attack her or whatever.
Yeah, by saying, they're still alive down there. Yeah.
Yeah, like your kids, you should go and look after them.
Yeah.
And and of course, just like Jurassic Park with the Velociraptor, she bloody well accidentally makes a noise.
I was just about to say, she fucking,
knocks
it's
over
expected.
the pots and pans or, oh my God.
Accidentally
so
lets out a sneeze or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, all you had to do was sit still. What are you doing?
Well, I kind of remember back being kids and you'd play like, hide and seek or murder in the dark or whatever, or was the spotlight or whatever. And you'd like, the aim is to be quiet and hide. But those moments where you've just ran away from the person who's counting and then you're sitting still and there you're trying to hold in your breath, but your body's like, you just ran fucking heaps. So, but you're like trying to hold it in. You're like, but you're like dying.
I really don't think you'd be able to run away from someone, then hide somewhere and for them to come in the building and not hear you panting.
Yeah.
But I really don't know how you can be quiet enough.
I just don't think,
like when they're hiding behind the cupboard door and they're huffing and puffing, the bad guys on the other side and can't even hear them. It's like, they would fucking hear you, all right? There's no way that in a box you're that quiet. You can't.
You can't. Yeah, no, it's just not possible.
There's no way. But of course, it's a movie, so you have to.
Yeah, movie magic.
Movie magic. And then, of course, the final bit with her, with this random woman who appeared in the wall.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a space movie without a hull breach. Without a hole in the ship.
Yep.
And then they get a couple of bullet holes in the ship. And then she gets sucked to the window. And I was waiting. For her to get, like, sucked out the hole in the window, like, minced up and, just sucked out that tiny
just like,
hole in the
I was
window.
about to say, like, forced through a small hole, just spaghettified.
Because up to this point, they had done so many disgusting things. I was so ready for that.
Just hoping for it.
But no, the window broke and she ran out with the window.
Deserves it.
Yeah, but I mean, in her defense, though, these were like aliens in a way. And she wanted to take the ship and save her Earth.
Yeah, I mean, she's justifiable, but I think we're trying to view the movie as from Universe A.
Yeah, we are Universe A.
Like, that's the perspective of the movie. So we're like, no, she's an alien.
So that's sort of the end of my notes for her.
Yeah, okay.
But at the start, when they first found her, because she had the wires and shit hanging out of her, they had a fucking magic healing machine. Like I'm like, oh, duh, it's the future. I forgot. Of course, they can have a magic healing machine.
It's like that welding thing that the Chris O'Dowd, when he loses his arm, like he just sprays the shit on it and then electrifies it, and then it goes and fixes it.
That was so cool. Like that and the healing machine. They're two bloody good things. And this is where I said to you earlier. That's the note for me. I need one of those healing machines.
Yeah, fucking
fucking fix me. How cool would that be?
Or at the very least, remove your consciousness and put it into like another robot or a
body. Yeah, I'm having the robot, or just can you upload me to the internet?
I was about to say, what about being just free? Imagine being a free being on the internet, like.
There's a movie with Johnny Depp when they do that.
Yep.
We should do that sometime. That's cool.
In the future, I've watched that pretty recently. But yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
It'd be weird. That would be just being able to like jump around like information. Oh,
With that, and another thing is they got the glue gun, the nanite bloody magic gun that fixes everything. They also had a 3D printer that printed food and weapons.
yeah, the worst bagel printer ever.
I know, but how cool though.
Yeah.
That technology is not far off though, really.
Well, I mean, 3D printers, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
All it's got to do is have like a microwave emitter, you know, so it cooks it at the same time as printing it.
Yeah. I think that's not too far-fetched, really.
It's possible. It seems theoretical.
But the way they did that glue gun thing was so good. Because, like, normally they make a point of things in a movie, like, look at this is going to be bad later. Right?
Yeah.
Or they're going to need this gun later, or they're going to need the axe.
They purposely put it in so you know that they're going to use it.
But with the glue gun thing, he was using it to fix the ship. And they did that multiple times, just fixing things, right? And then at the end, that stuff tries to kill him. Doesn't it? Is it that, or is it him or someone else? Because the wall gets magnetized.
No, it's him. It's definitely him.
Yeah, and the wall gets magnetized and he's stuck against the wall with this nanite gun stuff, like, on him, like, in his mouth and, like, eating him, like.
But like
the ship's trying to kill him. Like,
it's so weird because you're trying to like think of like the monster behind why the thing is like attracted to him, but it's not. It's just chaos.
Yeah, everything's getting attracted to the wall, and he happened to be there. Yeah, I just thought that was such a good way of pointing out something, but not making it so obvious.
Yeah, not going, oh, I'm going to go grab the ray gun, guys.
Yeah, the ray gun, if you didn't catch me, I'll say it again.
The thing that shoots really powerful shots, I'll just go grab that thing. or when they do the whole like, you got to have a grenade or whatever, you know, and then it turns out he needed that grenade, that was the last thing in his belt that he could use to fend off whoever. You're like, oh, come on, man, why did you have to do that?
And I just thought that was a very good way of putting an item in the movie without making it so obvious that it was going to reoccur to be a thing later on. I just thought that was, that's the way to do it. Use it as they have to use it because it's part of their job to fix the thing. Don't make a big point of it, but make it so you have to fix multiple things.
Yeah, it just doesn't need, they again, that's like them. The director or whoever is trying to baby the audience. They're like, here you go, let's spoon feed all the information to you.
So let's just rewind a bit there. So he's working on one of the panels. It's so funny, his arm just gets sucked straight into the fucking ship wall. Straight into the panel. Like, it was so funny. It's like the ship trying to eat him. I thought it was hilarious.
I like when he gets up afterwards.
At the same time.
Oh yeah, obviously, but I like afterwards.
Yeah.
How he gets up and he's like, no, but just before that, how he's like, oh, that was weird, wasn't it? Like he hasn't even yet settled in that his arm's gone.
And I'm thinking, oh my god, once his arm has disappeared, I'm like, what the fuck? Where is the arm gonna reappear? What is happening? What is this arm gonna do? I don't want to know.
And then like,
so
I mean, not long after what's his name? Daniel Bruhl. Oh no, that's the actor. Damn it, Jesus Christ.
Which character? What did he?
Schmidt, and how he gets out of the lockup or whatever, and he finds and sees that the arm's like crawling down a hallway. Oh, how weird! And then they trap it like an animal.
Yeah, it was like before that bit though. I thought to myself, it's like his arm's still attached, but elsewhere, you know? Because it didn't look like he was bleeding or...
Yeah,
it was it was still attached, but that part was in a different dimension or somewhere else. But when his arm comes crawling down the hallway, I thought the sleeve was a different colour to what he had.
I thought why does he have a bandage on his arm? I didn't think he had that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, is this another him's arm?
Well,
because
isn't it the other version of his? Yeah.
Yeah, the other him. Is it his other him?
It was Universe B.
Because it knew things, and it was like, because it wanted to write down a fucking message.
Yeah, and it said check inside what's-his-face's stomach or whatever.
Yeah, cut him open. cut 𝗏𝗏 open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Fuck me, don't do that.
Oh, where 𝗏𝗏, when he's looking in the mirror and he's like talking to the other thing and the eye moves the wrong way. And oh, how cool is that?
It's fucking terrifying.
It's fucking awesome.
So when
and they did it so
arm,
well, and he's like pushing it. He's like trying to push the eyeball to look the right way, and it's bloody, and it's not going anywhere. And then he's like holding his hand over his eye, and he's like, all right, just blink a couple times and it'll go away. And then he opens it, and it's still fucking wrong, or it's the other way. You're like, oh man, how paranoia inducing. Imagine that for a fucking dream. Oh.
Yeah, we'll get back to that in a sec. When they first find his arm going down the hallway, right? I thought it was so funny when they grab it and they're like wrestling with it.
Yeah.
They're like fighting with his arm to like take it somewhere and put it in the box or whatever. It was just so funny, that whole concept of them.
Like wrestling with it, yeah, an arm without a shoulder attached to it.
Okay, it wouldn't be that difficult, would it really?
It'd be light. Anyway. You just pick it up and hold it away from you so it can't slap you.
And then, the arm wrote a message and, yeah, and I also thought maybe it's the future, his name was Monday, maybe it was future Monday's arm, like a future version or...
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't quite sure about that. They don't really explain that, but yeah, and so then, like you were saying about the guy with the... So there is a bit there where... what's his name? What's that character we were just talking about?
𝗏𝗏.
What is your name? No, the other guy, the funny guy.
Chris O'Dowd.
Chris O'Dowd, his character. He says, he's like, the worms are missing. He says that, and then because there's a tank of worms that they had on board, and there's no more worms in there. And I'm like, oh no, not the worms. I'm like, where the fuck are they gonna be?
Inside fucking 𝗏𝗏.
Inside Swedish guy. Was he Russian? Russian or Swedish? I'm like, I don't want to know where those worms are. And then he had a sore eye, so he was rubbing his eye and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking immediately when that happened, I've got, oh, it's fucking in there, isn't it? Fucking in his
the worms
body.
are inside of him. Yeah.
And then, like you said, at the mirror, and his eye, that was so gross. His eye just looking the wrong way, and
oh, it was so
that was
well
so
done.
unsettling.
I want more of that in movies.
Oh, it was so unsettling.
I want more weird shit. Like
so
unsettling in a good way, yeah.
Oh yeah, in a good way.
In like the best possible way. It's like it's like when you no, and it's not the same, but it's kind of like when you watch, like Saw or something, where there's a fucked up trap in it, and it's just done so well and gory, and you're like, oh, that's so fucked up. But it's not fucked up that I want it to stop. It's fucked up that like, wow, they achieved that so well that I'm now thinking it's real.
And so 𝗏𝗏 is just standing in front of the mirror. And that's when his eye went all fucked up. And then he says something. He says to himself, he says, hello or something.
Yeah.
And then he fucking answers himself. What the fuck? Are these worms sentient? What's going on? These worms are like talking to him and telling him what to do. I'm like, that is so messed up.
But
that is so...
But like, were the worms just in his stomach, and it was like the other?
Oh, they were in his head, stomach, everywhere.
It's like, was the other 𝗏𝗏? I don't know. Yeah, it's like it's hard because there's not meant to be logic, is there?
No, I think the worms were like somehow, because they were controlling his eye, and I think they were talking to him. I really do. I think these worms are fucking sentient and talking to him.
That does make the most sense. Like, or at least he, fucking hell.
Or they're messing with his brain because they're all inside him, like,
Just imagine. Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my God. When he answered himself in the mirror, though, that was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, you're like, oh no, it's sentient. It's in him. It's inside of him.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then cut him open and the worms just all come spewing out.
And then they get the that bloody thing that's inside of him, the
gyroscope.
The gyroscope, thank you. Yeah, bloody how why? No wonder he felt weird.
I know. I don't have too much on 𝗏𝗏, but back when they were trying to work out, back when the random woman was trying to work out if he was bad or good or whatever.
Well, but that's because she's
and
like,
us were.
in her thing, he was bad,
Yeah,
but in
he
our
was
thing,
bad.
Volkov's the bad one. So
And I've gone, oh, maybe this 𝗧𝗵 is the other 𝗧𝗵. Maybe it still is the bad one or whatever. And then Keel, the captain, the black captain, he went and he checked the computer and he checked all the messages. And it's gone here, there's 𝗧𝗵 sending bad messages. And I'm thinking to myself, no, hang on.
But that's
different ship.
Yeah,
This is a different ship, different logs.
But their ship crashed into the earth. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
it's like, so maybe not. So that's when I realized, no, 𝗧𝗵's definitely okay. It's
I kept
just
thinking the
universe is fucking with him.
the Chinese lady, what's the one that didn't speak English?
Tan.
Thank you. I kept thinking she was like, doing something, doing fishy. She's like, oh, and I'll go fix this sound. And she kept like, and I feel like that was a part of the movie trying to convince me that maybe she's bad,
Right. So of course, the only two, the two people that start to make a plan to, because at the start, 𝗧𝗵 and the Asian woman, they sort of talk to each other in Chinese.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, of course, the two that are going to go off and cause mischief are the only ones that speak Chinese.
But so they end up being the only ones trying to actually save the fucking...
Yeah. I just thought, of course, that's quite... yeah, so not much happens now, but... so there's a scene there where, was it 𝗧𝗵, he explains what he thinks going on, right? So once they start working out shit, because throughout the movie, like throughout the start, they're just reacting to stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, it's time to stop reacting and to act.
Yeah, it's time to
make
do
a plan
something.
and do something. And right about that time, that's when 𝗧𝗵, I think, works out what he thinks is going on. So he goes, one thing is clear, the Overload did it. None of us believed it was real, but this is a paradox. And then he says, particles interacting with others across 2 dimensions, 2 distinct realities in a multiverse, fighting to occupy in the same space, creating chaos. These aren't the things we know because they don't belong to us. And that sentence there was quite...
That's a powerful part of the movie.
That's the powerful...
That's
pinnacle.
Like, oh, we're starting to kind of understand.
And throughout it, Mundy was like, right, I'm just going to take a seat. He's like saying all these funny comments.
Was that where he's like...
simple is it?
Is that where he's like, oh, I'd clap, if I could? Something like that.
Yeah, I think
anyway.
so, something like that. I like his little quips throughout the movie.
That's why he's there. He's there for bloody comic relief.
They could have almost made the whole thing a comedy, but...
I'm glad they went with fucked up as well. Like, they made it
so good.
Screwed up, like the wall eating his arm to her appearing in the wall with, like, wires going through her to... Like, it was a gory... Well, kind of... it was a brutal movie. That's the word, brutal.
Yeah. So, and then the main woman, the black girl with the curly hair, Hamilton, I think her last name was.
That's what I think it's Hamilton,
it's like,
yeah.
So then we find out that on her Earth, she accidentally killed her kids.
Yeah, with the battery or like some sort of generator. A siphon,
she was siphoning
that's what it
power
was.
from the grid illegally and overloaded. And it's like, so now she doesn't, because on this second dimension, that hasn't happened or hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, I need to get to my Earth to like save her kids because she doesn't trust herself.
Yeah.
To not blow up the house
But it's a
again.
different her, so it could be a more trustful her. It's not her anymore. You may as well consider it as a separate human being, just because it looks and it might like the same food or similar food. It's not you anymore. You can't just put your thing onto it.
And then she comes around because she sort of has to. She gets forced that she can't now go to Earth.
Yeah.
And then so instead of going to Earth and taking over, she sends a message to her other self with data on how to save the Earth and to not use the power siphon, which kills the kids. I'm like, good girl, about time snapped out of it.
I can get onto it, do something with it. Yeah.
But before that, I'm like, I was thinking like just before when they first told you about her kids, I'm like, oh yeah, so everyone's going to die except for Hamilton, because she's going to stay on her Earth, or on this Earth, and be with her kids, and maybe kill the other her. And just like pretend to be the real mum and take over.
Well, I guess that's an option, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to happen. But no, that doesn't happen.
Maybe in the next movie.
Quite funny. I thought that was quite funny when I thought of that. Yeah, and then she sends the message, which was good.
I did like her powerful message at the end, though, was pretty fucking like, all that matters is just go see your children, hug them. And whatever, like you're like, because all that matters is life. Like, as fucked up as shit as like death, everything happens, but life is the point. It is to live. It's not to. It's go hug your offspring, go hug your partner who you've chosen to fucking bear this goddamn forsaken life with, and like
it's so
it was quite a good fucking moment.
And I thought throughout the movie, I kept thinking, they kept trying to make us think.
Oh yeah.
That the ship itself is like trying to stop them. Because every time they come up with a plan or whatever, something messed up would happen with the ship. And it would like stop them. Like there's one where the engineer woman, she gets frozen.
Oh yeah.
Because it fills up with water.
Although that's not what would happen, but.
Well, once the water. Probably wouldn't freeze that fast.
No, it doesn't freeze. No.
Once it's open to vacuum of space.
Yeah, but I'm certain I read something about it. It's because the lack of pressure, it actually instantly boils the water first, well before it settles out into the inevitable, like it would freeze out in space.
Okay.
But because there's pressure inside of it's like, when I remember doing this as a kid, like one of those little stupid science experiments that you could do at school, where you'd get a bottle and you'd get like a bike pump, and you'd put a cork on the end and you'd force it into the bottle and you'd pump it up, and you'd release it quickly, and there'd be a vapor of the air that's in there that wasn't there before you let it pop. And it's like the instant change of pressure going from positive to in the experiment is like it's going to just the Earth's pressure, but in space it's going to nothing. There is no pressure. So
I guess that's a minor thing, though.
Yeah, I know, that's nitpicky. That's like bloody what's his face picking apart gravity. It's
more interesting for it to freeze than to.
Exactly, we got to get the plot along. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I kind of thought that's what would happen, but yeah. Like you say, I don't actually know what happened.
Well,
so
I only read that because I saw a trivia tidbit about it, and I'm like, okay, what would happen? And there was something that explained that exactly. Like, look, they might be wrong and I'm wrong again, so I apologize.
I think you're right.
People, go look it up for yourselves. Don't believe us.
Yeah, don't take what we say as gospel, please.
Thank you. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
That's interesting. And then, so I started thinking the ship was trying to kill them, but nah. No, it's just messed up physics.
No, but in that scene though, her getting frozen, the Asian lady, the Asian engineer. Goddamn, I feel bad. I don't mean any bad harm when I'm saying calling her Asian. It's just the description word.
Just like a black sheep. I mean, it's black.
Hey, that's a bit racist. It's the Negro sheep. No, I'm joking.
The rainbow sheep.
yeah. Was it fucking they used to say that with the the little nursery rhyme or whatever you'd sing.
Yeah, bye rainbow sheep.
Yeah, what? I don't want any rainbow wool, you prick.
It's a sheep, but it's fucking black. Get the context right. For God's sakes.
But with that frozen scene where she gets frozen, like how intense and like I love the fact that she didn't just drown. Like, because I was like, oh, here we go, she's gonna drown. Like. But it wasn't just a drowning, it was a hull breach, but also like she swam up for air, she went down, she's like banging on the window and they're like trying to pull the door open and then she swims up again for fucking air, and it was such they built the intensity so well in that.
Yeah.
Because if it just starts with her stepping down into a small puddle of water and then bam, bam, bam and things open and it was very well done. I thought that was such a crazy intense scene.
Yeah, well, that was pretty good. And then also there was a scene they had like in every movie like this, the captain has to sacrifice himself to save everyone.
Stereotypical, yeah.
Because you know how the ship gets damaged.
Yeah.
And they have to detach the ring. And he has to go out, and only he can do it. He has to do it from the side of the ship. He can't stay with everyone and do it. And it's like, oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, but what if, imagine being in that situation and someone's got to do it, but no one's putting their hand up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the captain. I mean, but the captain shouldn't do that. He's more valuable. Surely the captain's the most valuable.
Yeah, send the cook out.
Member. Send the random woman.
Yeah, send her. No, but you wouldn't trust her.
No, she might fuck it up, make it worse.
Can I just want to read out my the last 4 notes I've got in the movie, like just in order as I wrote them. I find it pretty funny just reading it right now. It's all right. So first is, don't trust her, !! Blah, blah, blah. And then it's, yeah, you spin your web of lies, Blondie. Because that's right when she's, trying to convince him that the other, what's his name, Schmidt's bad. And then he goes, haha, she got ejected from space. Have fun. And the last one is, fucking monster movie? What? Because I wasn't aware. I was like, what the fuck?
On Earth, the monsters had been dimensional.
I really got to watch the other movies now.
They're not actually, I read somewhere that they're not, because chronologically they don't fit, the years don't match up. But they said someone or the producer or whatever.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams.
They said that there's 3 movies and they're all different parallel universes.
They're all along the same story, but
same
parallel.
Story, but different parallel, slightly different events, slight differences, different times.
And apparently there is another one on its way.
Yeah, and that's how they make sense of it all. I think there's 2 other Cloverfield ones. Because there's Cloverfield, and then there's one, I thought it was a Cloverfield movie where they're stuck in the basement and there's a guy and he's pretending that the outside air is dangerous. And they go up and then aliens grab them or whatever.
What is that?
I think that's connected somehow to the Cloverfield movies. I think it's got Cloverfield in the title.
Is that 10 Cloverfield Lane or whatever it's called?
Yeah, that's the one. Yes, that's it. This guy keeping these people down.
Why is that
saying that the world's gone bad and you can't go up there? Well, it has because there's aliens and shit, but yeah.
Oh, that didn't get... Oh.
Because I think that's connected too.
For some reason, I thought that was way before, but it's only 2 years prior.
To now? Or
to the movie we're watching.
Yeah.
Or we just watched. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen this.
Oh, well, there's some more stuff for us to.
Fuck me, man. That's cool. All right. Cool. Yeah, but it's obviously going to be less sci-fi, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it's more the guy's keeping them hostage because he thinks he's convinced them that the outside world's bad.
But it is bad.
Well, it is, but it's not for the reasons he's making out to be. He says there's radiation everywhere, which there isn't. Because they go up at the end and find out there's no radiation, except there's monsters.
Fucking monsters. Well, that's that kind of makes you think of ancient scripts handed down on generation after generation. You're like, how easily they could be misinterpreted, and we just and Jesus or Moses, spread the waters. But the simple translation could have been something way simpler than.
So now everyone is dead except for 2 people.
Yep.
And to start the ship, guess what? They need 2 people.
Yeah, guess what?
And they need 2 keys, and they can't do it at the same time. You've got to be separate because they're 3 meters apart. One person can't do both, and all this shit. Why?
Yeah.
And that was so Hollywood.
Yeah.
Of course, 2 people's alive to do that. And then that's the end pretty much. They get it working. They teleport back to their Earth.
And I like how they plunge through the clouds.
No, but before that though, they get the power station or the collider, what's it called? The particle accelerator working.
Yep.
Properly supplying power. They're all happy. And then they go through the clouds, a giant monster.
Yeah, I was about to say the closing scene.
It's happy, they got the power working. And then sad, that was always
it's kind of like the movie Life, you know what I mean? Like how at the end he's like, oh sweet, I did the right thing.
Yes.
Her spacecraft went back to Earth and mine is going out into infinity. Oh no, it's the wrong way around. I'm going back to Earth and she's gone trapped in a bloody space shuttle going on for infinity.
Yeah. And then as they're falling through the clouds, can you see the giant monster? You've got Michael, which is the main woman, the black one with the curly hair, her husband. And he's on the phone to NASA or whoever, and he's like, tell them not to come back. And he's like yelling on the phone.
Yeah.
Tell them not to come back. And too late.
Too late. Because he says something right at the beginning, which I thought was just a powerful thing, where he's like, we can't go back in time and know what we know now.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh man, like that set up the whole movie for me. Like, oh, I'm interested. Like, because I knew everything's kind of important in a movie, so like they chose that for the reason. And then a bit later, it's like we must consider that we may have ended the lot. You know, like there was lots of little sentences put in there to make you think. Like you said before, it's like it's such a thinker of a movie. Oh, it was so good.
So. Do you have any extra trivia bits that you want to add in? I've got a couple. But,
the only one we said right at the beginning was the cameo by Simon Pegg, and I have a little note that I wrote afterwards. That I think we should just we could say a couple of things about. Was maybe, you know, like how in the ancient texts there's descriptions of Pandora's box, or the box once opened can't be closed. There's something that we've had this in the history. Like you look up bloody ancient texts in the bloody pyramids. You know what I mean? Like we found this in our history of some sort of box that can't be closed once open, right? And imagine if that's like some weird ancient warning for us not to fuck with the fabric of reality, like not to try and time travel, not to maybe leave quantum physics alone, like observe it. But don't try and control it, you know?
Because I've got a silly theory that I came up with. It's not serious. It's just a messing around kind of theory I thought of.
Yeah.
But maybe time travel, maybe black holes are time machines when people have made a time machine and that calls a black hole because you're not meant to make a time machine. And that fucks up the universe and makes a black hole.
And like there's no... okay, so like... it's like there is it's like trying to wrap your head around infinity. So like, because a black hole essentially is like it's the opposite of infinity. It's like the negative infinity, and it's all getting sucked into the
So maybe creating a time machine using it causes a rip that just causes a black hole, and just that's it.
Yeah, but so what if it's just like bloody Doctor Who? You know, just hop in a wormhole, bam, you're there.
Yeah, maybe the black hole is a teleport.
But what if
every
every time you get in, like maybe every time you travel, you're now like, there is this universe where I'm traveling from, and then I want to travel to universe B, so I plug in those coordinates to universe B, but I never actually reach universe B. I'm now in this separate universe, which I think is universe B, but it's actually universe B 73145. You know, like it's head fuck.
I know, I love it. It's so fun though.
Trying to contemplate and wrap your mind around these things that are just not made for our brain is so
fun though.
It's fun. It's like an exercise. It's like
it hurts, but it's like you're physically exercising your brain. It's
it is.
Too much exercise.
It's a mental treadmill.
Some things aren't even worth even trying to think about. It's like that's just too hard.
That's out of my pay grade. Yeah,
that's sorry, not today.
Yeah.
This is how I felt like halfway through watching Tenet.
Oh, shut up. I still haven't. Shut up. I know. I want to so bad.
But I was like, I'm just going to give up trying to work this shit out. I'm just going to go with it. I just gave up.
No, fair enough.
But it was good because the ride was fun. Just take me on the ride.
I believe you. And because I trust your movie opinion and music opinion, but movie opinion, I'm so excited for it. You know what I mean?
I very rarely give movies a very high rating, so I would give it a 10 out of 10, so that sounds something.
All right. Well, what about your trivia? Let's head on to some trivia.
This was the first Netflix film to be released on DVD and Blu-ray.
And you know why that was?
Why was that?
Because it's one of the first movies where Paramount Pictures and Netflix joined masses to try and make a movie.
Okay.
I didn't write that down, but I remember reading that. I was like, it's because,
That's cool.
that doesn't happen often because in the opening credits, you see Paramount Pictures and Netflix. Normally, it's just the Netflix one and they get straight into the movie. Or it's the Paramount plus Sony Pictures plus this, plus that, plus bad company, you know, like.
Yeah.
So I thought that is pretty interesting. That is generally that doesn't happen for Netflix movies, which is probably a loss for them not releasing it on DVD, like not getting that.
Because that's an extra sales, yeah.
But it's not that they want the money of the DVD being bought. They want the tick of the box, one more sale. Like, it's like it counts as one more view.
And also, like, I would like it released because if you really, really like the movie, you would want to get it on Blu-ray because that would be a slightly better quality than Netflix streaming.
Yes.
Because Netflix streaming isn't like Blu-ray quality. It's not even near. It's still compressed.
I feel like
look fantastic.
I feel like they should offer like you know, when you watch it, you're streaming it. That's one quality. But if you like, all right, download this in 4K for later viewing, and you download it, and then you can watch it tonight. And it's like the ultimate possible quality.
Or whatever I wanted
dude,
that.
it can be fucking, even if it's like, maybe not more than that. I was going to say like, it could be like,
60s amount of Blu-ray.
It could warn you beforehand, like, it's going to take up this much space or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that would be such a better way.
But even if you could choose the quality levels.
I wish it was like YouTube and you could dictate, like, no, I want to watch this in...
I don't want you to do it auto. If it started, that's my fault.
And that comes down to another one of our favorite things. God, let me choose. Give me the option, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on the movie? Come on.
I had, so Volkov, the Russian engineer, I thought it was Swedish, but apparently he's Russian.
Oh, Volkov,
he has the same as the Russian cosmonaut Vladislav Volkov.
Do you want to say that again, but 10 times fast?
Yeah, Vladislav. Fuck, I can't even do that. Vladislav Volkov.
And you hear them speak Russian and they're just like, and they got it all nailed down. It's fucking crazy.
So the real astronaut, or cosmonaut, on 7th of June 1971, he became one of the 3 human beings ever to die in space.
Oh.
So only so far 3 people have ever died in space.
Only 3. Only 3. I guess the others would have died in launch.
Not on launch, but in space. So the spacecraft he was on depressurized, leading to asphyxiation and hemorrhaging of its 3 crew members.
Oh, man, how sad. That's so depressing. Like,
I guess it wouldn't be too painful because you suffocate and then hemorrhage, so I guess...
But it's still like more than 10 seconds of feeling anything, you know, like...
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Oh, that's terrifying, man. That's why, like, when we were talking last week about your breathing machine, I'm thinking, let's say power goes out and you're fucked, like... Oh, how like you're essentially trapped in that spacecraft, losing pressure, and you're like, like trying it, you know. It's
that's right, exactly. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
But I've got battery backup, so don't you worry, viewers.
Yeah.
Got like 24 hours or something worth of batteries. So
after that, hopefully you'll be right.
To a hospital at that stage.
Eventually, by then, your mum and dad will have a straw blowing air in you.
Well, worst case is you go to the hospital and use their generators.
Yeah. Do you guys have a manual
one? We've got like a hand thing.
Yeah.
But I guess that would keep me good. But
I mean, obviously it requires someone. No, exactly. It requires someone.
You'd want to then get to hospital or something to get power. But before that, if the power was going to be out that long, you would go to a hospital and use their generators.
Yeah, okay.
They would let you. There's no way they could say no to that.
Hey, I need a breathe. Unfortunately,
Otherwise, we might have a medical issue.
Yeah. Or we'll have lack of medical issues because it's gone.
Yeah, gone. No more. Crumbs off.
Fucking. Oh, anything else on it?
That's the end of my notes there. So
All right.
should we do?
Yeah, whack a rating on it. How did you rate it and why?
Well, let's do budget first.
Oh yeah, duh. Cut that in. Yep, go.
So 45 million was the budget.
Why? Yeah.
Which is pretty big for a Netflix movie.
Yeah, but it's a combination of Paramount. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good investor. But the box office, they only made 281 million, but for a Netflix movie, I think that's pretty good, isn't it? For a streaming service.
They quadrupled their what they've invested.
Oh yeah, that's good. But I mean, in terms of Marvel and stuff, it's not that good.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. In scopes of those things.
So for a Netflix movie, that's probably
excellent.
Pretty bloody high.
Yeah, it's probably it's probably scored extremely well. And not only that, it was rated very well by a lot of people. So
I've got a couple of notes on technical stuff.
Yeah, yep.
So I found at the start, I didn't notice it later on, but at the start, the camera was quite a bit shaky. They did a lot of that shaky stuff, which was...
Is that common in their movies?
I don't know. Oh, yes, because the first Cloverfield's handheld camera bullshit make you want to throw up. But yeah, it was like that at the start, but I didn't notice it too much after. And the CGI, so when his arm gets stuck in the wall, that didn't look too good to me. That looked really
quite cartoony, didn't it?
It looked cartoony, and that was the only time I saw that.
The idea of it was pretty cool. And because I thought also when he was applying that bloody slime stuff, that was good. I thought it looked like a cartoon.
I thought it was a bit.
It looked very like bold colors and not right shadowing
And I think the reason is because I don't think that movie had much CGI, because I reckon a lot of the scenes were actual built sets, like the hallways and the rooms. They were built sets. They weren't CGI.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's probably the cheaper option too.
The only time they used CGI would have been when you're out in space looking at the ship. When things are blowing up and stuff, they would have used CGI there.
Also, if they're looking through the windows or whatever, they'd CGI what they're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. But inside the ship, I think that was all sets.
Yeah,
and that was very well built.
That's such a cool... Yeah, I was going to say they did a fucking good job then. Because even like when it comes to the panels on the walls or when they have to hit the little screen thing to open the next door, all those things look really well.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I guess sometimes it's cheaper to build the scenes than to do CGI.
Well, you're better off going practical than CGI.
It looks better too.
For price and feel, I guess, yeah.
And the music was quite intense, dramatic, and scary, ominous.
Yeah, as you'd want in this type of movie.
And I thought the acting was good, though. What did you think about the acting?
I got no bad words at all.
Exactly my thoughts.
Only things I got to say is how excellent I thought the last scene of the black frizzy-haired girl when she's doing that like the powerful speech, the recording she's sending down, that was just immaculate. Then there was also the scene where the blonde, the don't trust the blonde lady, when she's about to give that black woman a hug, there's like a scene where her eyes are watering up. I'm like, fucking hell, man, they're so good actors. There was time and time again where I'm like noticing, like, holy shit, I believe these people. Wow. Yeah.
What did you think about the pacing? Do you think that was too slow, too fast, perfect?
I wouldn't call it perfect. I think at the beginning, I quite liked that it got into it it didn't seem slow to begin with. You know what I mean? It was like it gave us information. It got to them like you know how you said about the intro, where it did the intro credits, and it gave you all this info, and then it jumps into them doing the test that worked, but failed. And I think the pacing was well. It was good. What about you? What do you think of the pacing?
No, I thought it was right. I didn't have any bad notes about it, so
No, that's good. Then.
thought it was good. It was, yeah, wasn't too slow, wasn't too fast, didn't drag out too much. It was, yeah, I thought it was right. So I gave it a 7 out of 10.
All right. Now,
What did you?
well, I had to give it a 9. I thought.
Oh, okay.
For a first time watching for a sci-fi, goddamn like fucking thriller. I couldn't have asked for much more. I'm glad that they didn't baby down any of the harm that would have happened. They made it really fucked up and crazy. The storyline was a thinker. I was hooked.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
After I finished it, the first rating, I thought it was a 7, but later on the next day, I was thinking almost changing to an 8.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's fair.
But 7's what I first thought of, so that's what I put.
That's what you stick with. No, that's all right. Now, I couldn't give it a straight 10 out of 10 because I mean, yeah, there was parts for me that.
Yeah.
I don't know, like obviously there's a couple things that are going to be nitpicky and personal that you just don't see the point of them in the movie. Then there was obviously the cartoony look to the CGI, could have brought it up more. But not much else. I couldn't think of too much that would have warranted me bringing it down further.
Because to be honest, I don't know if I'd really want to watch it again. I mean, the things that happened were awesome, like disgusting and awesome, and that was great. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. Yeah.
No, I think this will be a movie I reference to, but I won't watch again. Yeah. No, I get that because I think it's because it's a thinker. It's almost like the movie's the secondary to you thinking about what the fuck you would do. You know, like I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so 7 out of 10 for me, and what were you?
And a 9 out of 10. And I was considering 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. I was like on that border, but I went with 9 because I wanted to be nice.
I was almost an 8, but what I first thought was a 7, so that's what I went with.
All right. I think that would be it for today. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't think I think the topic we'll save for next week or
in the future, one or the other.
In the future.
All right.
I've done the notes on it, so we don't have to take notes again. That's good.
That's always good. Good talking to you, Stephen.
Yeah, you too.
All righty. Bye, guys.
All right. See you guys.